Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri is a fight I want to discuss. Also, on a side note, Kryzstof Glowacki and Steve Cunningham is also I want to talk about. So I want to talk about both of those in this video. It'll be over here in the UK early in the morning. Over in the States normal time. And yeah, it's an interesting fight. I mean, as far as I know, Errol Spence, if he wins the fight, will become the IBF mandatory. Um, from a few media outlets, I've heard that. Not 100% on that, so don't take my word for it. But Errol Spence has talked about it a bit, and he said he'd travel over to the UK and would happily face Gel Brook. He's a very good fighter, and he would love to pit his wits against him. So yeah, I mean, Algieri is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I know the bookmakers have this about 8-1 against Chris Algieri, that they're giving him hardly any chance of winning the fight. So Errol Spence is, a huge odds-on favorite to win. Um, I think this is a lot closer than people think. Algieri's been at world level for quite a while now. He beat Ruslan Perodnikov in a very close fight, but he used the jab. He got on his bike after the first round, not multiple knockdowns. Got on his bike and just moved, and made it very hard for Provodnikov to actually catch him clean again with the same velocity and speed he did. So Algieri can mix it up. He's got a new trainer, John David Jackson, sorry, Sergei Kovalev's trainer, and he changed up his game. He faced Amir Khan, and really took it to Amir Khan. Some people even say he won. So he really refined his game, really tweaked it, and he could do a few different things that might upset Errol Spence's rhythm. So yeah, I would say it's a lot closer fight. I'd be very surprised if Errol Spence takes him out early. Algieri's quite a durable dude. I know he got knocked down 6 times against Manny Pacquiao, but um, Manny Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao. I wouldn't have expected Algieri to win that fight anyway. But he's a former world champion. He's done well. He's a rangy guy. He can use his jab. He can move. He can brawl inside. Seems to have a decent chin. So Algieri's not there just as a knockover job. Definitely not. He's there. He can he can really make it awkward for Errol Spence. That said, I'm actually going with Errol Spence to win. I it's hard. I do want to say late stoppage, but it'd be either late stoppage, I would say, but I'd probably go towards a points victory for Errol Spence. I think Algieri's pretty durable. He'll be able to come back with his own work, and it won't be close, but it'll be a comfortable enough victory for Errol Spence. I'd say 116, 112, or 115, 113. It wouldn't be. It would be close, but it'd be close but comfortable enough for Errol Spence to win. Um, it's a good fight. For me, it's as Spence is a prospect even. It's a good gauge to see where he is and to see where he may go in the welterweight division. Of course, there are the top guns: Keith Thurman, Sean Porter facing off in their rescheduled bout in June. Kell Brook has just defeated 3 mandatory defenses and he's looking for a big fight. Manny Pacquiao potentially retiring, potentially staying, we don't know. Tim Bradley. So there are a lot of options there. Adrian Broner possibly moving up. Danny Garcia's also there on the PBC brand. So there's a lot of potential options there for Errol Spence. And to see where he goes, to see how he wins, it would be really interesting. If he wins brutally, but against Algieri, it'll show he's a real force at 147, and he might go very far. So let's see how the fight goes, and it's a really good and interesting fight for me. Last fight I want to talk about is Glowacki versus Cunningham. Uh, Cunningham is a very competent operator. Of course, he's been fighting at heavyweight for quite a while now. Um, I don't know how the fight's gonna go. If he'll be on his bike for the whole fight, he might brawl inside for a bit. We know that. he drew last time out against Antonio Tava. Uh, he also he also faced Glasgow, I think, and he faced Tyson Fury, and he knocked him down. So he's faced really really high caliber of opposition. Um, so he's there or thereabouts. He's moving back down to probably his natural weight class, cruiserweight. He was always coming in about 204, maximum probably 213, 214 at heavyweight. So he's probably always a natural cruiser. And obviously he's a former IBF World Cruiserweight champion as well. So he's competent. I think if he gets on his bike and moves, he might be able to upset Glowacki. But I think Glowacki, his punching power, he's got decent combinations. He's good at most things. So I'd say he probably got the more upside. Definitely, he's got the more upside. Cunningham, I think, is 39, pushing 40 now. So I'd go with Glowacki to win on that, and also I think that I think Cunningham's probably slowed down a lot more than he's probably let on. Even though he's been facing very very solid opposition. For me, 45-year-old Antonio Tarve should have beat him pretty handily, but I think he got a draw against him, so he's kind of slowed down to he's pretty much slowed down, and I think Glowacki will eventually catch up with him. Cunningham's pretty durable as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think Glowacki's going to catch up with him and stop him late, possibly around 9-10, and retain his WBO cruiserweight title. Although it'll be for me, that's probably the fight of the night. It's a very very good fight, and it'll be interesting to see what style Cunningham adopts. If he tries to brawl it out with Glowacki, or he tries to get on his bike and move. But very very interesting fight. I'm picking Glowacki. I like Cunningham. I really do. I think he's a really good operator, but I think Glowacki has got a slight more upside, and he'll catch up with him later on in the fight. Similar to how he did with Huck when he stopped him in the 11th, and that was probably fight of the year. But I think it'll be close. It'll be quite neck and neck going down the stretch, and I think Glowacki will stop him later on. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Glowacki versus Cunningham, and Errol Spence versus Chris Algieri. Two really good fights in the States, and it'll bump some people up in their rankings in their respective divisions. Let me know your thoughts on all of that, and if you enjoy the video, please give the thumbs up, subscribe and share so it gets out to a larger boxing audience. Tweet me, PM me, however you want to get in touch, please do. And yeah, take care, guys. Peace.